Good morning. It's ANZAC Day. We're here in Papakura. There was a parade here this morning at 9 o'clock. Took about an hour, so it's after 10 o'clock now. It was good. We've been to quite a few parades over the years. Starting from when I was in the military, since I left. Even when we were in Canada, I used to go to the ANZAC Day parades. Believe it or not, it's not just Australia and New Zealand. But different parts of the world, in Asia, of course in Turkey, and in Calgary was mainly Aussies overseas, a lot of expats, but a few of us Kiwis used to show up and celebrate ANZAC Day. But now I'm back in New Zealand. It's good to be back. Smaller scale. The years I've been back, I saw a lot more people, but I think because of cancellations and recent events, it was a very scaled down ANZAC Day. But hopefully next year it'll pick up again. It was still good to come and share the day with others here. First time in the Papakura one. And I think a good topic for ANZAC Day is probably remembrance, because that's what ANZAC Day is all about. Not just remembrance for war veterans, but I think remembrance in general is a good topic. Why do we do remembrance? Whether it's your own family, a community, a church, or in this case it's a national remembrance for generations that have died over the years in war. But how do we do remembrance, and why do we do remembrance? I think ultimately, if I think about the history of ANZAC Day, is these days when someone dies, their body can be repatriated. They can come back, and the family has can physically touch them and farewell them. But in the old days, many bodies lay in fields all over the world, and no one had access to them. The body may have been shot or blown up. So how do you remember someone and there's no physical representation of them? I think that's why ANZAC started. You got memorials all over New Zealand, because a lot of times you didn't have the bodies. And the love and connection you have with friends or family, comrades, it's real, but you don't have the person. And so we develop these remembrances. And whether you have a physical body or not, I think it's a really good exercise, because remembrance is about pausing, it's about remembering, even celebrating someone's life after they've gone. For what purpose? Life goes on. You move forward. Both my parents have died just because, they were in their 70s and our body wears out, and for various reasons they died, but we move forward. And I think ANZAC is a pause, is a remembering, is a celebrating, but then it's to give us the inspiration to move forward. What are your priorities? Time is short. Have you lived the life that you wanted to live? And what are what's important to you moving forward? So I think that's what ANZAC's about. It's a short pause, but it allows us perspective in your daily life. Is your daily life going the direction that you want it to go? Do you think it honors the memories of those who have gone before? And if not, then how can you adjust that to make your life more acceptable to yourself, to make sure that you're hitting your own marks. So days like ANZAC is I think good for that, not just as an individual or as a family, but as a nation. Is our nation going the way that our forefathers wanted it to go? So it's a time of reflection and a time of pausing, remembering, celebrating, and then moving forward with some sort of purpose. So I think that's what ANZAC Day is about. But it helps us, as you know, like I said, not just veterans in war, but with your own family, with your own community. It gives you ways to do that. And today we had songs, we had a great song to end the service here. You have prayers, you have poems, you have speeches, all these different elements to help remember who and why we are. And like I said, we don't just have to put it to ANZAC Day. It's a good thing to do when you have anniversaries of loved ones who have died, to reflect and know, okay, our loved ones are gone, but they're still with us. They're still in our hearts. And we want to move forward in honor of what they've done. And I think that gives meaning, because if you can take your loved ones with you, whether they're here or not, that gives you meaning for what the challenges that are around us today and the challenges that will be with us in the future. You're not alone. And it's a generational thing. I always believe that whilst my parents and others have gone, we had a church reunion some years back, and it was touching to see people lighting candles for those who have passed on, a generation that have passed on. And it was really for our generation to light that candle and say, yeah, we're moving forward with the memory of these people that we have loved, been in our history, but are still with us in the spiritual sense, still encouraging us. So that's my 2 cents on the importance of ANZAC. Whilst it celebrates a national remembrance, it also makes me think of what's really important with myself, with my own family, with my own community, and why it's important to do these things. I hope this ANZAC that take time to reflect, enjoy, celebrate, but take time to reflect on why you're doing what you're doing, and are you on the right track? And if you're not on the right track, that's okay. Just pause and say, and promise to yourself, I'm finding where I want to go. I'm reprioritizing my life, and going for the potential and the promises that your family, your whānau had for you. When a baby is born, I saw a lot of kids today and some babies. There's potential there. There's hope there for the future, and that's what I hope that you gather from ANZAC Day. It's about the past, it's about the present, but especially it's about your hopes for the future, the potential that you see in the next generation. Encourage the next generation. Tell your stories. Don't let those stories die with you. Give your stories to that generation and allow them to be inspired by the stories that you have for them. So I'll stop that there. I hope this is an encouragement to you. Again, it's not just about warriors, but in war, but it's about warriors in life, those who have fought for you and supported you in your life, and that you can continue to encourage others and the next generation to be successful in their lives in the future. So thank you very much for listening, and maybe you can scan the memorial here a bit more. And it's some beautiful reefs, and this is another way we remember. We create things, poems, reefs, other things. It's all important to help us to think about past generations, present generations, and as you can see with the stone, it's about future generations as well. Oh, thank you very much. Have a good day, you guys. God bless.